Hey, hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Got a few people in here.
Hey, what's up? Oh, Las Vegas. What's up, man?
Got a few people
Hey,
filtering in.
Las Vegas. Yeah,
Hey,
Las
Max,
Vegas
how's
ball
it going?
pythons. Liz, did you see Las Vegas ball python story? I think it was yesterday where he bought a different type of coconut and did a rep to
Yes.
chip new product comparison. I
Yes.
thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did see that. That was super nice. Hey, Kenny.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, dude.
Max. Sorry, guys. I have
Yeah,
been
what's up,
under
guys?
the weather the last few days, so my voice sounds like I'm dying, but I'm all right. We'll make it through this,
Yeah.
right? Probably be giving Brandon the
Oh
reins
shit.
here for a little bit.
Which sucks because I have the shitty internet,
Yes.
so
Well,
I have
hey,
to
at
talk
least last
slow.
week it was my internet that decided to like completely dump out. I was actually super nervous.
Yeah,
I didn't know if the StreamYard would continue since I'm technically like the host or whatever, but it did all
yeah.
right. So that was good.
And my internet's being extra rough today. I think they're flying the Duke, but it's not so bad right now. So they're probably on the other side of the base.
Yes.
Hey Tracy and hey Mary, what's up? So today I'm pretty excited about today. We said we're not gonna have a lot of ball python people on, but most of this month is ball python guys. I'm
Yes,
really
it is.
excited to yeah, man, I'm really excited to start it with this dude right here. I think the first time I ever spoke to Jose from Grab Your Balls to me, you know why I fuck with you? Because you keep everything 100. You know, like
Yes,
he's like, you're really stuck. And I was like, man, you already know. He's awesome. He feeds ASFs. He got some cool snakes.
for
And he's up
sure.
in New York, you know, where there's a few legislation type things that could be affecting him. So we're going to talk about all that today. So
Yeah.
with further ado, my boy from Grab Your Balls, Jose.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up,
Y'all hear me?
bro?
Y'all hear me? Y'all
Yeah.
frozen on my screen.
No, you look good to us, man.
You're
I'm
good.
sorry, man. All I
No,
see is
you're
you,
good.
B. Hi,
No, you're
everybody. Should
good,
I
bro.
back out and come back?
Yeah, you're good to us. You
No.
look good.
All
Yeah,
right, because I
you're
can't.
solid, bro.
Everything's frozen on this side. But what's up, everybody? My bad. I hope everybody good. Welcome for tuning in. I appreciate the love.
Oh yeah, we got
All
quite a
kinds
few
of
people
love
in here.
going on in the
I cannot
comments
see
here.
comments. I'm using my phone like always.
Awesome.
I need to upgrade. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But should I back out
Hey,
because everything's frozen over here?
Yeah, if you want to hop out and hop back in and see if that fixes it, you're more than welcome.
So I just leave and press the
Yep,
the.
yep, and then click the link
Okay.
again and come back in. Yep.
yep.
Seems
What
to
up,
do that when I
Chino?
bring people in.
Yeah, right. So
Tracy.
quick. Oh, Tracy, you're so sweet. So I think what is it? Not this Friday, but next Friday. So I'm putting in for leave,
Yay.
and
I am
right,
so excited about this.
yeah, dude.
I'm ready for you to be
So
out.
yeah, me too. But I'm taking a vacation before I'm getting out because I have too many leave days. So if my
Where you
leave
going?
gets approved, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not allowed to
Staycation.
go anywhere yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not going to work. So
Can't beat that.
if my packet gets approved, I'll be with DMJ Reptiles there next Friday.
Nice.
on his
All right, here we
channel.
got Jose back. Everything
Yeah,
look
what's
better?
up, everybody?
What's up,
Yeah,
man?
everything good. Yeah, I'm moving
Good?
now. Yeah, everything's
Good.
good.
Awesome, dude.
Awesome.
So, why don't you tell everybody a little about yourself, who you are, where you're at, what your day job is, and where you got grab your balls from.
Okay, so pretty much my name's Jose. I'm Puerto Rican, live in Harlem. Um, my day job is I own 3 routes and I sell beverages to all the accounts in the area. And well, I sell product, more stuff than just beverages. Also, I'm a personal trainer. So after my day job, I'll go straight to the gym and train over there. And I'm a single father. I got 2 kids, a 15-year-old son and an 11-year-old daughter. And so after I take care of my kids when I come home from work, I take care of my animals. So sleep 3, 4 hours a day and hustle all day long.
Yeah, that's gangster,
Oh,
dude. Straight up.
and to answer about the
That's
grab your balls thing, uh, I'm from Harlem. I don't come from a lot of money. Like I said, I'm a single father, and every investment I have to make, I have to plan it out, see if it's worth it. And I always been a breeder, but reptiles came into my life in 2019, I believe. And I looked at a lot of breeding videos and was amazed by what I saw. And I was like, you know what? I'm a breeder since day one, so I'm gonna try this out. And I had to pick and choose my genes wisely because, like I said, I don't come from a lot of money. So the investment I made had to be worth it. And that's where grab your balls come. I literally have to grab my balls and see if it's worth it or not.
Nice.
damn. I like that, man.
Yeah.
That's it's very personal
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
Yes.
it's very real. And
Yeah.
I can relate, man. I grew up people never would guess cuz how I am. But I'm from Pittsburgh, PA, and I grew up
Yeah, I
in the
know.
hood. Yeah, and I grew up homeless, and I know what it's like to have nothing. So I feel you on that, brother. I really, really do.
Yeah,
Kudos
like I
to you.
said, being a single fair or being a single father, it's not just
Yeah,
about me. I have to really plan and make sure my kids is always good.
Yeah.
That's my main priority. So every investment I make, I'm planning ahead.
That's awesome.
Thank
dude, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
Yeah.
So for planning ahead, then you want to let us in on any projects you got coming, or
you.
what genes you had to invest wisely in, and you said you plan it out long term. So we'll talk 10-year plan.
Okay, cool. So well, right now, let's just start with right now. My first snake was a pastel Enchi orange ghost. Orange ghost, you heard me.
I heard you, motherfucker. I heard you.
Yeah.
He meant hypo,
Uh,
everybody. What he meant was hypo. He has a pastel and she hypomelanistic animal. Is what he
Yo, the reason,
has.
I'm always gonna go argue with you about that shit, and the reason why is because when I bought the animal, that's how I learned it. Orange ghost, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's how it's gonna stick to me. But I understand you, the scientist, man. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But
Of course. Yeah.
but yeah. So I bought that snake and I did research on what I got because obviously I had no idea what genes I had
Honey
or what was a
Reptiles is cut.
recessive.
Honey Reptiles is cut for the month. You're dropping off, bro. I'm sorry, Jose. Continue.
Yo, that's my brother, yo.
Yeah, he's
So
good people. He's good. He's a good dude.
yeah, I couldn't believe it when I met him, but yeah, so I bought the snake. I didn't know what I had, and I had learned recessive and everything. Like I bred dogs and stuff, so I knew what the dormant genes and everything were. But it was a little different when it came to the reptile. So I had to learn that all over. And then like I said, I had to sit down and strategically plan what I wanted. And my second snake was a super pastel Enchi clown. I knew that I like clown because I seen it in the videos, all the different combos, and I was like, wow, that's the recessive I'm going for. You know what I mean? And I thought that I could make a powerful breeder by having a super pastel, super Enchi hypo clown. Hypo clown, set it for you, brother. All right.
Thank you, thank you.
But
That's
but
right.
but I figured if I could make that happen, that's a powerful breeder. Like I seen one online, a super Enchi. It was a super Enchi hypo clown, and it was 6K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, that's what it is. And that was, I didn't see none of this before I thought about the plan. I never looked at World of Ball Pythons and none of that. I was just doing research and doing what I want, thinking about what I want to do. And I also thought about, I seen I like lesser, I like spot nose. So I found a nice lesser spot nose clown, and I picked that up. And I just thought about, all right, I started with a 3-gene animal. I didn't want to revert and get a 2-gene animal or something that didn't have a recessive in it. So everything I'm doing right now is pretty much double het stuff with multiple codoms in it.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get at the end of it, well, I guess 5-6 years from now will be visual Desert Ghost clowns with different codowns and a bunch of different visual orange ghost clowns and keep it going. There's a bunch of genes that I was still looking at that I want to get into, but like I said, I don't come from money, so slow pace is how I'm gonna do it. Yeah. And I've been reaching out to a lot of people because I'm definitely gonna buy those things, and if they got it now, I want to lock it down.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
When it came, go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
Double recessive's the way to go right now. I mean, you came in it with a good mindset for sure, especially with those two projects. I mean, Hypo Clown, there's a few of them out there, but there's gonna be a high demand pretty soon for hets and double hets and visuals and.
I mean, I think hypo everything works.
Haha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, B. But that was my first snake, and I was gravitating. I was in White Plains, and out of all the snakes all right. Granted, shit. I didn't understand why a snake was $3,000 at the time. You know what I mean? So I wasn't looking at no pied stuff, nothing that was over. Well, to me, that was outrageously priced. I didn't understand it. So I was walking around just thinking I'm gonna come home with a chameleon or something. And then I saw this, well, my friend saw a bamboo, single gene bamboo. It was a real beautiful snake. We both saw it, was like, wow, this is crazy. Again, we never saw nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he picked up the bamboo for $190 and from Kickballs, and Kickballs said, yo, get this other snake and I'll take $50 off of it. So I wasn't even sure if I wanted to come home with a snake. I liked the snake, but I didn't know if that was my final buy. So I did one walk around again, see if I seen anything else that caught my eye, and nothing else caught my eye like that snake. So I paid $125 for that snake.
Wow.
I passed out, and the snake right now is $600.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
how long ago did you pick that up?
That was November 10th of 2019.
Damn, you got it to the day.
Right before the hypo spike. I mean, you came in right as hypo. Yeah. That's
I would never forget that day. That was my first show ever. Like, I've been to other events and stuff, and I've seen things similar to that, but I never knew that they even had a reptile world like this, And I feel like this whole thing was a calling for me because, like, again, at the time, the female I was with was like, oh, don't buy no snake because I won't come back to your house. And going further back, I lived through that with my mom. My mom is very religious. So there was no snakes at all.
I feel you there.
I had other stuff like newts and other lizards and stuff, but nothing that was...
No serpents.
Well, I'm in New York City, so there's not a lot of options when it comes to reptiles anyway. But then I got married. and I was married for 18 years. And she didn't like no kind of reptiles neither, so didn't think about that. You know, happy wife, happy life. So I became single. So I was like, yo, I'm just dating this girl. You know, yeah, you know, you always look to a brighter future when you with somebody. But I was like, yo, I'm tired of putting what I want behind for somebody else. So I was like, you know what? Don't come back to my house then. You know what I mean? And I bought the snake.
Preach, brother. Preach.
Yeah.
I bought the snake, and you know what? Not for nothing, she's now a reptile person too. She got all types of reptiles and stuff. We not together, but you know, I always wish her the best.
Right.
And so I bought the snake, and I fell in love. Like I was like, shit. I didn't even know they had shows like this. Like these people. I found out why the damn snakes was $3,000. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, I need to, now that I know what I'm looking at, I need to go to another show and like visually be there and understand what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. So I started looking at Morph Market, and I bought that clown, and I knew that clown was what I wanted. So I started looking into other clowns with other genes that I wanted, 2-3 gene clowns. So I knew GHI was something I wanted, and I seen the GHI Mojave clown was like amazing. All of them that I seen when they was young was almost blue looking, you know.
Yep.
So I was like, yeah, I need to get one of those. And then I was looking at them, and Python Paint Jobs, my boy, yo, he's a good dude too. He had one that caught my eye out of all the. It was like 7 of them on for sale. And out of all of them that caught my eye.
Sorry.
She thinks you're cute, bro.
I gotta move back a bit.
Yeah.
My back doing the Chris Hardwick.
Oh, you're fine.
All right, so check it out. Python Paint Jobs.
Yeah.
I seen his GHI Mojave clown, and it stood out to the other 7 that was on that page. So his was $1,000 more than everybody else. Now I just wanted the jeans. I could have went and spent the money on the cheaper version of it, you know. But it caught my eye for a reason, and I thought it was a step above the rest. So I was like, I have to have that. Then Steve at Las Vegas Ball Pythons goes and puts a post out about her, and you know he got like 1 million followers. So I'm like, dude, you're killing me. You know, I can't get that snake right now. Take that shit down. And you know, we was joking about it. And then Chris Hardwick goes and does a video, and you know, he does morphs and stuff. So he puts a video, and there's my fucking snake on there. And I was like, damn, I just bought the lesser spot nose clown, and she ran me 2K. And I didn't have another 3,200 to drop on this one at the time. And it was literally like weeks after I got it. So I was like, damn, somebody's gonna buy this snake. And I was stressed. So again, shout out to the shorty that I was with at the time, because she went and bought the snake. You know what I mean? And yeah, I paid her back for the snake, but she looked out big time because I didn't have it at the time, and she went and got it for me. So I would not have it if it was not for her. So much respect, always appreciate her. And that was like the last big purchase that I did for a little while. You know? And then I figured I'd slow down because I was growing really fast. You know, the racks and stuff cost money.
Yeah.
The 2-3 gene recessives cost a lot of money. And I figured, all right, I'm good right now. I got a male, I got a couple females. I could just do hypo, clown, everything, you know? And then, like I said, I met Honey Reptiles. We got really tight. That's pretty much my right-hand homie out here in the business, in the hobby. And he has Super Pastel Desert Ghost that wasn't doing nothing this year. So I borrowed him. If he's not gonna do nothing, I could put him to work, you know. Unfortunately, he didn't want to breed with none of my females.
Oh.
Yeah, he just cuddled with them. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, I didn't want to waste the females. You know, so I sent them to Hector's house, and he has them now, and he's breeding them to like a 6 gene desert ghost. Uh,
Nice.
I'm
Yeah.
keeping my fingers crossed though, because it has lesser in it. So I don't want every snake to come out all white.
Oh
But
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
we'll see what happens.
That's always the battle with the Bell complex. I'm trying to get right now because I happen to love the Bell complex probably more than I should. I have a lot of Mohave. I have Lesser, I have some Russo. The only one I don't have is Bamboo. Got Mystic, all that fun stuff. But I'm actually trying to get the Bell complex out of my males so that I don't run into that issue because I
And
have
you
it.
be steady kept making white snakes.
Yes, because I have pretty
Yep.
much Bell complex and probably 40% of my females. So I'm trying to get it out of my males to prevent that issue. And I still have like one male. I have a lesser vanilla fire, so lesser vanilla cream that I use specifically to make bells as like reinvestment clutches. You know, I got a
Hmm.
couple of girls that I use. But yeah, that's always the battle. You get these all white snakes and you have no idea what's in them.
Exactly. And then you gotta constantly be breeding them. But if you have nothing but white snakes in your collection, it's a dead end. You
Yep,
know, and that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
exactly.
to avoid.
There's a lot of power to a good female
Hmm.
just because you
Yep.
get that super form, right? Especially if it's a het or double het or a
No
visual.
normals.
Yeah. Um,
Yep.
but when it comes down to, producing a ton of them all the time, it's very difficult. And there's very few things that bring color back to the Bell complex. We've seen now with like
Oh,
ivories, right? Like leopard and itchy and
yeah.
Hmm.
cloud and stuff have been bringing some pattern back in to make it a little bit easier. But bells are pretty much the only thing I know that brings pattern back to a bell is spider. And I don't want
Mm.
to. I'm not a huge fan of working with spiders.
Nah.
If you blacklight a leucistic spider, they have pattern. They have the
Yeah.
spider pattern. It's actually really cool.
I did a
But
couple of black lighting stuff in Castro's house. He has a few bells, and all of them had different patterns when you black light.
okay, very cool.
Yep. Yeah. You'll get pattern with the Mystic and Phantom. So if you do like Mystic and Phantom to Mojave, that's
Right.
going to be like a different pattern. Is like the Mojave Lesser. The Mojave Lesser is almost patternless.
They are. They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's very few things that bring. That's mainly what I go for is Mojave Lessers because I don't like
Yeah.
the gray. I don't want the gray head. If I'm going for an all white steak, let's go for an all white
Right.
steak. Then super
Yep.
lessers have the small eye deformity. You could get
Right.
get
Yep.
out with the super lesser. But yeah, lesser Mojaves are pretty much white. There's not
Yeah.
much
That's
that
the
brings
Bell.
back.
The Bell standard, and I don't know anything about Super Bamboo. I have bamboo in my collection, but it's worked strictly into clown, and
Yeah.
that's it.
I
And
like
I'm
bamboo a
putting it
lot. I
straight
don't
into
have
the
none though.
magma stuff.
Hmm.
Yep, I got it going to like some magma stuff. So some red striped clown, and I'm making the bamboo heads. Like the eggs are in the incubator right now. It was a pewter
Yep.
bamboo to a clown, so I'll have all those heads coming in like 2 months. But
Nice.
so here's a good question that I got because I've traveled with snakes a lot, being in the army and living up in PA and being close to New York. I know your winters are rough. You are
Hmm.
subject to the Great Lake effect, if you will, living by the between what is it, Erie and then the ocean right there, like is killer. So what are as far as husbandry goes? Is there anything you have to do that's different or crazy or anything like to keep humidity up or keep heat up or anything like that due to the weather up in New
Yeah.
York?
Well, I live in a project, so the project heat is crazy. It'd be like 90 degrees in the bedroom. So I keep my AC on, my room stays at 75 degrees all the time, but with the heat running, it dries out the cocoa pretty quick. So like
Yep.
I keep thermostats in there, and it pretty much shows me uh the humidity and the temperature all the time. So I keep the tub at like 77, 75, and the humidity about like 60, and everything works pretty good. I got a mister in the back. I gotta get a bigger one though, because I gotta constantly refill that one. And like every 2 3 days, I'll just mix the cocoa up and wet it down.
Nice. So you use the Reptile I can see in the back.
Repti chip right now, yeah, because I have a guy who delivers it.
Okay.
But
Nice.
I tried that Coco Loco from KC Reptile Labs, and I really like that.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what's going on with Repti chip, but every bag I open is like sticks. It don't even look like cocoa no more. So I think I'm gonna make a change. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of that lately. I'm not sure what's going on. We're a Reptile chip distributor. I reached out to JT about it a couple times. He doesn't really have any answers to the questions, so we are working on it. We are trying to get it figured out. It shouldn't be a problem since we own the actual coconut fields that we harvest everything from. I know with 2020 we've had difficulty getting everything processed, but yeah, so good to know. Good to know. I've been making kind of a list of all the people who have been noticing some quality differences. So
I hope you don't feel like I just burned you. I didn't mean to.
No.
Make
You
you
are
feel some type
fine.
of way.
No,
I thought it was funny as shit.
no, not at all. As much as I love Reptile and we decided to distribute Reptile because we tried the other products and thought that it was the superior product.
I did too.
And since I don't look at it as us like trying to push the Reptile name, but I personally don't want to represent anything under my name that I feel like isn't the best product, right? I mean, we preach quality over quantity all the time. So, like I said, I've kind of been keeping a tally, and we've been debating a little bit on what we're gonna do as far as the Reptile side of things. But yeah, so it's good to know that there's people from kind of all over that are having the same concerns or effects and things like that. So definitely looking into it. Hopefully we can get it fixed, but so far I don't have any answers as to why the quality difference has gone down with the chip. So it's interesting to know that it's not just one location, right? Like someone didn't get one container.
Like it was a bad batch in one state or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, because that could happen, right? Like you get a container that gets shipped to one part of the area that.
Even in my business, it happens all the time. Like we have to ship stuff back because a whole bunch of product came in spoiled or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's interesting that we're finding different areas of people that are having the same issues. So definitely good to know. We appreciate it.
Oh, y'all guys know me pretty good, so y'all know I'm always gonna be honest.
Exactly. Yep.
No, dude, I would. This is like. Is this the first interview you've ever done? This one?
No, I've been doing a whole bunch of YouTube, but I need to start doing my own stuff though.
Yes.
Yes, you do. So I don't expect you to be anything less than honest in yourself, and that's what you've been the whole time.
Yep.
And I know you've always been that way since the first time we talked, and I don't expect you to be anything else other than 100%, man.
Exactly.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know I'm not. A lot of people, like I noticed that in my IG, I've been losing a lot of following, and I think it's because I'm actually putting my person out there now, and I'm cool with it. I'm not made for everybody. You know what I mean? You have to, and that's all right. I'd rather all the fake people who don't like me for whatever reason depart, and I stay with my real team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And that's why we started this channel, the Reptile Revolution. Be true, be honest, don't be fake, We're here to, I don't want to say expose the truth because we're not really trying to expose anyone, right? But we just want to we want a platform that everyone's comfortable to say who they are and what they're all about. So that's what, we hope everyone is comfortable enough to do that. So we appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, I don't know no other way to be honest about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, trust me, dude. I can't even tell you, like, how many times being honest has got me in trouble.
Oh man, me too.
Like,
Why you think I'm single?
Yeah,
for sure.
I was what's up, Black Tie Royals? I was in the promotion board, and I was going to get promoted to sergeant, right? And so I'm a specialist at the time, and my sergeant major says, "All right, Hernandez, what's your greatest strength and your greatest weakness, you think?" And I said, "Sergeant Major, my greatest strength is I'm blunt and honest. My greatest weakness is I'm blunt and honest." And he says, "Well, I don't think that that's a weakness." And I said, "Sergeant Major, I don't fucking care what you think." And he threw his cell phone at me and it hit me right in the face. And he said, "Get the fuck out of the board."
There you go.
Granted, I did not get promoted to sergeant. I had to go back to the board. But so with honesty, here's an uncomfortable subject that people don't like to talk about, which is ASFs. Right?
Yes.
There's
Let's
a lot of stigma.
Yes.
Stigma with ASFs. I say stigma because I think it's, Yeah, go ahead. Give me your opinion.
I'll say it's the same thing that people say about pit bulls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It depends how you raise up the animal, and that's gonna be the way it reacts. You know what I mean? When I first got my ASF, they was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They was wild. I put my hand in the bin if there was a pregnant or female, she was trying to get at me. Yeah, I used to breed those.
That's awesome, bro. That's my best friend right here.
I believe you. I couldn't keep mine, man. I wanted to keep my last one, but I couldn't do it.
Damn.
City life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, so the same way they look at pit bulls, oh, those are vicious dogs, blah blah blah, and never even owned a dog. You know what I mean? It's the same way people talk about ASFs. Oh, they get stuck. My snake, I'm gonna get stuck on them. All I feed is ASFs, but if I throw a rat in there, they're gonna eat. I got videos of my snakes eating rats.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So don't believe the hype.
Yep.
I
say the only time I've ever had a snake get stuck on an ASF is if they were a mouser. Before.
I believe you, because I have a snake that doesn't eat the proper size rodent.
Yes.
I have to throw little 15-gram ASFs in there for it to eat.
Yep.
Granted, she get like 4 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
She won't eat nothing the appropriate size.
Tip, after she lays for the first time, you said it was a female, right?
Who you talking about?
The snake.
The one who gets 4?
The one that gets 4, it's a female?
Yeah.
After she lays for the first time, throw her like a small one, like the same size she's been eating for a meal or two, and then throw a larger size in there and see if she'll eat it. Because sometimes after they lay, something just like clicks in their brain that they need to put that weight on quickly. Huh?
She got some time.
Oh yeah,
she's a baby still, but all my babies that I got after her is already bigger than her.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. So. Yeah.
But yeah, when she gets there, just that's a good time to try to switch females over that are like that, where they won't eat a proper size. A lot of times you could throw in a smaller size and throw in a big one, and they're so hunger crazed after that clutch that they'll just take it and eat it.
Awesome.
I switched several females over that were that way, where they could easily be eating like a medium rat and they're eating like weaned because they just won't eat anything. They'll kill it, but they won't actually
And leave
eat
it.
it. You know?
She
Yeah.
won't even do that. She'll just be in a ball in the corner. So I
She's
just
like,
give her a
no.
little. Yeah, I think she thinks she's still a you know, little
A
80
little,
gram snake.
yep.
Yeah. She doesn't have any. I call it strike confidence.
Yes.
She has like low strike confidence.
She got low
Yeah.
self-esteem. I need to stroke her ego a
There
little
you
bit.
go. Yeah.
That's right. Stroke that ego. So tell us about your ASFs. You know, what do you call your ASF side of things? What's your breeding formula, if you will, for your African softwares?
Okay, so I call it the Snake Cake Factory. My softwares are snake cakes. The little babies are the
Yep.
cupcakes. Um,
I love it.
and the reason why I went that route is because, like I said, New York, you know, New York Cheesecake Factory, and everybody, no matter where you go,
Yeah.
goes to the Cheesecake Factory. So the only guy in the city having ASFs, I figure everybody got to come here. So Cheesecake Factory, Snake Cake Factory.
There you go.
That's right. Love it.
Yeah, so
Love it.
I traveled 6 hours to get those damn things, and I came back with just 2 colonies, 1 male, 3 females, like I saw online, like it should be. The reason why I went to get them in the first place instead of just buying rats from over here and doing the rat thing is because it's their natural food. You know what I mean? So I wanted them to live a natural life. So that's the reason why I went and got ASFs. Plus the fact I'm in an apartment. It's not a good idea to breed rats in an apartment. You know? So
Yeah.
I do a cleaning every week. I know everybody who comes to my house won't even know I have them here unless I show them to them. And so when I first brung them, I had a sterile male. So you know, once they start breeding, you can't switch them up. So I had a sterile male. So he had 1 litter with a female in there, but he was mating all the females. So I guess the females that wasn't pregnant thought that they could nurse the pinkies and wind up smothering them.
Yep.
So they was all dead. So I fed that colony off, and then my blondies was producing. So I started producing the blondie albinos for a little while, and then I made the trip again to go buy more because I had to still buy rats, and it wasn't producing and growing fast enough. So I went and I bought. We made the trip again. I got more, and I think I got like 50 of them, and that was enough to feed off my little collection and still have a colony. So, like I said, I'm always working. I got the measurements from Morph Mixology video on how to build the rat rack, and that's way before I met Sal and everybody. So I was just finding shit on the internet on YouTube and trying to make it happen. And so I was always working. I didn't have really time to build the rat rack. So I went and got all the pieces. I think I got the bin the wrong size because there's a little gap in between the arms of the thing, but everything else was the proper measurements. So I got everything together. I made the frame, but I couldn't finish it. And you know, they breeding. I was like, I need to make this happen. So everything was in fish tanks at the time. And yeah.
That's rough. Yeah. I've been there. That's rough. Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I gotta hurry this up. And I couldn't find the time working out, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, my shoulder's hurting just thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I had asked my dad, you know, if he could help me out. My dad is a handyman, and he looked out. He put the arms on the legs and everything up, and it was the first rat rack, and I appreciate him. He's not a young guy. He's like 75 right now. You know what I mean? So he's still kicking and strong.
Yeah.
He looked out and did it for me. So I was like, damn, I couldn't believe how good it was. All lopsided and everything, you know, but I appreciate him doing this. So I was like, yo, you did a great job, man. And it served the purpose.
Yep.
I noticed that I was getting escapees though. I was like, damn, how they getting out? Don't use quarter-inch mesh. I mean half-inch mesh.
Yep,
Don't use the half-inch mesh.
it's half
Quarter-inch is
inch.
the way to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, now I only use that rack for the grow outs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I measure
Okay.
everything in that rack. So from the wean to the biggest one gets measured. Before I sell ASFs, I measure them out also. So I ask pretty much what size you trying to feed. And I literally go and get the grams that's right proper for that snake. I guess that's why I got the clientele I got. Then as far as for the breeding, I made a whole breeding rack, and I got big bins, so I threw 2 males and like 8 females at first. Now I got it up to 2 males and like 10 females, and they producing pretty well. And as far as the 2 males, they don't fight because I grow them up together young, and I throw them with the females young.
Yep.
Like the females are more mature than the males when I throw them in, so they look at each other like brothers, I guess, and they just tag team everything in there.
Literally
Yeah, no.
tag team.
For sure.
Boys giving them the Eiffel Tower and shit. No, that's awesome. My ASFs are also pretty friendly. I can just stick my hand in there. They're good, you know. They don't bite me. I do it on video all the time. Yeah, and they're well socialized, and my snakes love them, man. I wouldn't
mine too.
feed anything else. Mine produce like crazy, like. God.
And then my snakes look like they still hatching. Like my none of my snakes got dark yet, and they're already breeding.
They hold their color so much better. It's ridiculous. Yeah, for sure.
My lesser still look like the day I got it to me. Like I look at her and I'm just like, wow, she's so fresh, you know.
This last year would have been, or 2009. All my babies for 2019 would be my first hatchlings that I have kept strictly on ASFs. I should say completely strictly. Every once in a while, I'll be short a week or something, and a couple of them will get rats or something. But I would say 98% of the time, right, they're on soft furs. And the color difference and growth difference between them and like all my previous
the growth difference.
The growth difference is insane. I mean, I've got females this year that are 2019 that are 12 to 1,400 grams.
Yep. Ready.
Barely, you know, just over between, 18 months and 2 years old. And I've still got females from 2018 that are the same size as the girls from 2019. I mean, it's just
I agree 100% with that. I got like I said, I got a few hatchlings here, and I did a live with Samson Snake and Torium, and we did talking balls. So what it is we go through the whole collection.
Okay.
And I showed the snake I bought in September when I went to Arlington, and it was like 100-something grams when I got it, right? He looked like he ready to breed right now, and that was in September. And that's once a week feeding ASF of his proper size, you know?
Yep.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's insane how quickly they grow on the soft furs. And I still end up feeding, like my breeder females and my breeder males are still on your normal Norway rats, just because I don't have the production size yet. We're holding so much back right now in order to just boom in our production. Like I think we pulled, I know for a fact we have probably 600 female grow out African soft furs right now.
Wow, that's a lot.
So, but we're just literally, if it's a female, like it gets held back. It pretty much doesn't matter. We go through and pick off, like obviously you have your lesser ones are almost like a failure to thrive where they're
the runts. I call those the runts.
the
Yeah,
runs.
they
Yeah,
don't
they're
make it.
The
growing,
runs,
but they're not growing as quickly as the rest of the litter.
I
And
give them
so,
a chance still, you know, but yeah, they're not breeders
yeah,
for sure.
we end up feeding those off just because you don't want to breed, that kind of
Right.
blood.
Yeah.
Yes, but for the most part, we're holding everything back. But I don't even know if I get up to production if I will switch my breeder males to ASFs. I haven't decided yet. I guess I still might. I've never had a male go off feed during the breeding season.
I'm dealing with that now.
And I think part of the reason is because I feed them Norways. So if they go off feed for more than 2 weeks,
gotcha.
I offer ASFs. And then immediately they're like,
give them that snake cake.
They'll eat ASFs for the rest of the breeding season. They might miss a week every 3 to 4 weeks or something, but they never go completely off feed. And as soon as breeding season's done, I throw Norways back in, and they're back on Norway rats. Like, I've never had an issue switching them back and forth. So I've kind of been debating on if I will completely switch my breeder males over to ASFs, simply for that reason. Like, I'd rather grow them up, have them at breeder weight, start feeding them Norways, and then if they go off food during the breeding season, I have something better to back it up with that isn't. Because I get some people like, well, just feed them a mouse. I'm like, I stay away from mice. I've had animals get stuck on them. Yeah. I try not to feed them.
I mean, in the beginning, that's the only thing I could find in the pet shop. So that's what I was getting.
Well, that's different. Yeah, but even my hatchlings, like if I know I'm gonna hold it back, I start them off on ASFs. If I know I'm gonna sell them, I start them off on Norways, just because some people still get turned off by the ASF thing. But if for some reason, if I offer 2 or 3 meals and they're not eating, I'll throw an ASF in. I don't start on mice. I don't offer mice. I've never had.
There's no need to really, because the ASF, you could get them so small like a mouse.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think they move. And a mouse will fuck your snake up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I can't say never, but I never seen aggressive ASF, like when I seen the snake try to attack the snake.
No, so
it always goes to the corner.
ASF's just take it. They're just like, all right.
They don't even squeal.
No,
they don't even make noise.
They take it. Yeah.
It's funny. I look at them like Vikings. They be like, Valhalla.
Yes, I know. It's pretty crazy. I've never had a bite from an ASF like on a snake. Like, I've never had feeding issues with them. They just take it. The worst thing about ASFs, in my opinion, is like I've thrown them in the tub and they fucking fly.
Jump out.
Like right back.
They jump out.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Especially the hatchling rack. They be flipping out like, woo.
Yeah. I mean, at this point now, I just like shut the damn tub. Like, I'm like, you get
I hold
stuck,
the tail. I hold the tail and then I close it.
Yeah.
That's when I hold the tail and I shut it and then drop the tail and let it finish.
That's my worst complaint about feeding ASFs is I can throw them in a tub and they just turn around and shoot right back out like a rock.
Anything 10-15 grams hit the floor, you got to run after them fast. 10-15 grams again quick.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate that I have a secure reptile room, but I also have my Asian water monitor. So when I'm feeding, when I feed my hatchlings and even like my yearlings, anything kind of like a wean size under, small weaned under, that if he gets a hold of it, it's not going to be able to affect him too much because he's only about 3 feet right now. I literally let him out on feeding days. If like something hits the floor, it's gone. Like he sits right at my feet like a dog the whole time, just knowing that eventually he's going to hit the floor. He's on it.
It's like a terrier.
Yeah, and he can fit underneath all my rack. Like, he can fit underneath my incubator, all my racks, everything. So if it gets under there, he's like gone. So it's convenient. Not only do I have a garbage control, but I also have a rat catcher. So it works out well.
That's what I do with my ASFs. They go to my lizard.
My ASF is, you feed them to your little. Don't you got a Pac-Man?
I got a blue tongue skink. An Indonesian,
so you don't have a Pac-Man.
My Indo's like straight up out of the wild, like wild caught Indonesian Halmahara. And so those failure to thrives, I throw them in there, and she just flicks her blue tongue once. She sees it. That little belly dragger lifts herself up like a croc.
Yeah, yeah.
Head sideways, like Jaws.
Jaws.
You know?
my ancestors are stupid though. I guess they so used to seeing me every day, like I'm literally in that drawer 2-3 times a day.
Yeah.
If I get one that hop out and I didn't notice that it's hopped out during cleaning, it'll come to me. It'll walk up to my feet and just sit there and look at me like, yo, put me back. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's crazy.
We had some Norway rats. We had the same issue where we had a rack actually built for us, and it was built just a little bit too wide, so the females could ship the tub and it would fall off on like one side. But we had some females do that. These are our Norways. But I walk in, I'm like, damn it. Like, I knew they had full on litters in that tub. I was like, I'm going to walk in there and they're going to be gone. Like, we've had females move litters before. And I walk in there and they had just gone around and collected like food and all the shiny stuff in the building that they could find. And they took it back and they were like still nesting in their tub that they had, knocked off or whatever.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is crazy. You know what? I noticed that too because when I first started this, I put the cement tubs, but I didn't know that they could reach the little circle and start chewing from there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I didn't put
the black gorilla duct tape. If
I put a washer on and it was a wrap.
You could do that too. Yeah, you could put
that too.
But before that, I had chew out. Yes.
Yeah.
They partied. But the funny part was they all went back in the tub.
Oh, wow.
They made a big ass mess. They ate up all the food. They chewed the water line up. Lucky thing nobody drowned, but they chewed the water line up. And then they all went back where they came from.
Do you have an automatic water system or do you use a bucket?
I use the bucket, yeah. The reservoir
I use the
system.
bucket for that reason. Because if I had an automatic and they chewed the line and the tub flooded, that's it. That's game over. With the bucket, there's only so much water that can dump in there till it stops.
Oh yeah, no, since we run so many rodents, we would literally have to be filling buckets like twice a day. So we run an automatic water system. But yeah, no, I mean it sucks. If one chews through or you have a leaky valve or whatever.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, everything in that tub, if you don't catch it, and we're down there, at least a couple times usually. So we're pretty good. We can usually catch it, but sometimes you don't. The nice thing is with the concrete totes is if you build your racks a little tight, which I know can be inconvenient because then you got to pull a little bit harder when you open and close them. But if you build your racks a little tight, your tub will bow in the middle. Mm-hmm. Instead of on the edges when it gets full of water. And so when it bows in the middle, it'll all run out the front and it won't flood anything below it.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It won't flood anything below it. So the bad thing about automatic water is like, if you flood the second tub, then if it leaks over the side, you'll flood everything below it. Yeah. But if you build it a little tight, it'll bow in the middle and then it flows out the front. Yeah, except there's a little hole. It's almost like a sink, like drain, right in the front there. So it always the front, and it won't flood everything below it. I mean, it might get the food wet. It might get the tub a little wet because it's gonna splash and stuff. Right. You're not gonna actually completely flood all the tubs below it.
Yeah. Well, I know there's a lot of tricks people use. I've seen two really good methods. I think one is if you go on Tim Bailey, if you go on his website, Bailey and Bailey's, he'll show you his rack build, and his water line has PVC pipe around it.
Yeah, I've seen that. I thought about that too. That was pretty cool.
There's another one that I thought was even better. It's just a little more costly. It's the same method, but with copper piping.
I've seen people
And
do it with gutters. They take a gutter and they fit
Smart.
it to the leg so that it just covers the whole front.
Yeah.
You know, where you're stupid cheap, you just literally drill it in, and
That's a
you
good
know
idea
you
too.
just cut it to fit over, you know, the side and then the front where your water line is.
They actually sell stuff like that for like your cable line, so you
Yep.
can hide your cable line. You could just use
Yep.
that same
Oh,
thing.
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey everybody in the comments, you better like this video. You're getting a lot of good knowledge. Shit.
Yes. Free tip,
I mean,
guys.
I studied it. I
Yeah.
studied a bunch since I came in here, and I talk. Y'all know me. I talk to everybody and anybody, new, old, whoever,
That's the way
and
to do it.
I try to get as much knowledge and different perspectives as I can. Like I
Yeah.
come from the city. There's a whole bunch of different perspectives just in my building alone. So
Yeah.
that's how I learn. I learn from everybody. I never was really good in school. You know what I mean? Everything I learn is hands on. Pretty trouble. Me getting into trouble is how I learn.
Yeah.
So
Same.
you know, that's how I look at this. This whole shit is like one big ass high school. You know what I mean? And then you got your little cliques here and there.
Yeah.
And I'm the guy who goes floating around in the school saying what's up to the emos, the nerds, the jocks, the, you know, everybody. I say what's up to everybody. What's going on? And you fuck with me or you don't, but I'm still gonna say what's up, and I'm still gonna try to learn and absorb, you know, get as much knowledge as possible.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys seen like the black gorilla duct tape, like the super sticky shit. Like put it on your arm and rip it off, it'll take the hair off your arm. Like it's crazy strong. But if you take it and put it over that hole that you get in the front of the concrete tubs, or really usually anywhere that I know some people have issues with the rats, like just chewing in the corners. So you could stick like it on the corners or whatever. Most of the times they won't chew there anymore because they start chewing and they get it. They don't like the taste of it, right?
They
Like
get stuck too.
They kind of get it stuck. And I've never had a rat like get it stuck or ingest it and like die from it or anything, right? It's not like a glue trap, like you're trapping their mouth shut. But you'll see where they chew off the coating and just hit the glue, and that's it. Like
I mean, you gotta think about it like this. It's like waxing your mustache.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You're not gonna like that shit, so you stay away. Like, oh damn.
Nah. So if you guys go to, oh man, where did I use? What's Tractor Supply? In the horse section, the one in Oklahoma has it, but I haven't seen it at all the Tractor Supplies. You'll find stuff that's called No Lick and No Chew.
Yes.
And what it is the medical. Yeah, it's the medical wrap. We use it in the veterinary clinics on a lot of more intelligent animals and a lot of things like dogs and stuff. It just tastes really, really bad.
It's usually called vet wrap, guys. Like the simple name for it is literally vet wrap. Yes.
Yeah. And so
what's it called in the Tractor Supply though?
No Chew. And you can get it in the medical. There's like No Lick and there's No Chew. They're like the same thing. There's like a $2 or $3 difference between them. One's in the dog section and one's in the horse section. And it's like they come in bright colors, like neon green, pink, like hot pink, and stuff like that. But it tastes really, really bad. So, like, one time we did this operation on a chinchilla's wrist that had broke its wrist, and we had to put like no chew on there, and it like went to like chew on it, you know, because it's an animal, it licks its injury. That's what it does. Yeah. And it just tasted bad. It won't chew on the injury.
Yeah, so you could get.
Go ahead,
Brandon. No, go ahead.
No, I was done.
Okay. Another thing that just reminded me of it. Another thing you could get, they usually sell it at Farm and Fleet or Tractor Supply or whatever in the horse section. If not, you could look it up. It's usually called like cribbing paint. Okay, so if you guys don't know what cribbing is, the thing that horses do. It's usually caused by boredom, but it's where they put their teeth on a board or stall or a piece of metal, and they actually suck air into their stomach instead of into their lungs. And horses can't burp. They can't burp. They can't vomit. They're incapable of passing air or gas back up through.
Get that colic, boy.
Yes, could cause colic. Yep. But the reason that they do it is it actually gets them high, because the body thinks they're breathing in oxygen, right? It's almost like when people inhale helium. You don't realize you're running out of oxygen because the body is still breathing, so it thinks it's inhaling oxygen. But because the horse is sending it to the stomach instead of to the lungs, they literally are getting oxygen deficiency, which is causing them to get dizzy and high.
That's so funny.
No, horses fart. That's the wrong way.
They can't.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
Fart comes from what you eating.
Yes, so it can't go back up to the trachea or the esophagus. So anyway, they make like a cribbing paint because it's really bad, obviously, for horses to do this. It wears down their teeth. They can obviously pass out from it if they're bad enough at cribbing. But they actually have a cribbing paint, and it's a clear coat, and you just put it on, but it tastes horrible. Like
so
it is
do that shit.
Thing I've ever experienced. But I wonder, I've never used it, but I wonder if just putting like a swipe across like the edge
That's a good idea.
Tub, if it would do anything. Another thing you could always try is, I know Tracy mentioned it, is the apple bitter spray. You could buy it at any pet store like Petco, PetSmart. We used it when I was a dog groomer, because a lot of dogs, when you're grooming, they like to bite on your tools and bite on your hands. For me, them biting on my hands wasn't a huge deal, but obviously if you've got scissors or like a razor blade, like a clipper blade going, you don't want a dog biting on your blade. So you would spray that all over your hand and all over your blade, and it pretty much just tastes like bitter apple. I mean, it tastes absolutely horrible. So that would be another thing that I wonder almost if you did it long enough, like just did it every day for a week or two, if they would stop chewing, kind of get like, almost like a habit forming.
I would go more the line of something without a smell though. You know what I mean? If it has a nasty smell, I wouldn't do it, because they got to sleep in that tub still.
It doesn't smell bad.
Oh,
the apple bitter stuff doesn't smell, just tastes horrible. And don't be surprised
if apples.
And how about that? How about that horse thing you was talking about? Does that have a smell to it?
You would definitely, since it's a paint, you would definitely want to paint the tub and then like let it air out and dry for probably 48 hours and then put the tub back in. I definitely wouldn't put them in immediately with it when it's wet. But yeah, no, the spray, like Brandon said, kind of just smells like green apples. It doesn't really smell bad. But I have seen dogs lick it and start like foaming at the mouth. Like they look like they've got rabies. Just,
imagine an ASF.
So you spray it and then you open the tub later and it looks like your rats have rabies.
And it's just looking at you like, look what you did to me.
Man.
If anything, it would kind of be a cool tool to pick out who your chewer is.
Yeah.
Because if it did make them like salivate, right? If you like put it in, spray it, clean the tub, spray it, put them in, come back like 20 minutes later, open it up, and if you've got, one or two, you would kind of be able to weed out like who's chewing, because that's always our hardest thing, is it's usually not all the rats in the colony, right? It's just one, but you can't like decipher exactly who it is.
Yep, and that one bad apple, all of them start chewing.
And then that whole colony or everything's kind of get that with our grow outs. We have these huge grow out tubs, so we can put anywhere for like 40 to 50 ASFs in our tubs. But if we get one chewer, then it's like
I got all those chewers.
Yeah, that whole tub has to go.
They'll take turns on that shit.
Yeah, exactly. So
good thing I'd be like, good thing I got more than 50 snakes. Later, nerds.
Tracy, awesome point. Wear gloves if you use bitter apple, because It's an oil base, so it doesn't wash off very easy.
Oh
I
shit.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing. Like I said, we used to spray it on our hands as dog groomers, right? And like
Yeah.
you totally you just go and you like wash your hands and you kind of forget about it. You're like, I'm gonna eat my sandwich. So you take a bite, you're like, ah.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing. You lose your appetite
Yeah.
immediately. It's like God.
Wow, that's funny.
And
Yeah.
it lingers. The taste does not go away quickly. So yeah, definitely make sure you wear gloves or something to help with the aftermath of using that.
So Liz,
That's
have you ever had to like burp the horse with the tube before?
Yes. So I actually had a horse.
I did it too.
Yeah, I actually had
So
a horse
gross.
at an auction, and 2 days later he colicked.
Oh
And
my
I bought him out of a kill pen. He got him super cheap. And so he colicked, and I had my vet come out, and we literally e-tubed him, and he filled about 3 5-gallon buckets with fluid in less than 10 minutes. So if you tube a horse and they immediately start flooding fluid, like it's bad. Like that is not a normal occurrence. That's not something that should happen. That means that there is excess fluid somewhere in the abdomen that is actually being absorbed into the stomach because the body is trying to pass it as quickly as it can. So the only way it can do that is to absorb it into the stomach, process it through its kidney and livers, and have it leave the body, right? Which isn't a quick process at all, but it's better than just leaving fluid in the abdomen. And anyone who doesn't know what colic is, it's a twist in the intestines. Yep. So it's a very serious matter.
Your horse will start like rolling, literally like how you teach a dog to roll over.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
The exotic vet that I volunteer with here, we went to a court. 2 horses, 1 colicked, and so he fixed that, and I watched him do the tube and everything, and then I got to do the second one.
Yep.
And so he tried to get me to do it through the nose first because he says it's easier.
It is,
but I couldn't get it through.
So big.
Yeah. So I actually couldn't get it through the nose. So he says, "All right, flip it around and put it in through the mouth." So I get it in through the mouth, and it's good, right? But nothing's coming out. And he's like, "You just have to hit it like you're siphoning gas." So I'm like, "All right, so like a bong,
shit.
a bong rip." So I'm just siphoning, and then the burp comes out. I'm like, "Oh God!" And then I go to look at the tube, and then the fucking vomit hits my face.
I would have threw up.
I didn't throw up. I pointed the tube away from me, and I was like, I looked at the horse dead in the face, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
I would have vomited right on that shit.
So I had this is funny. This is not a funny story. It was a very traumatic experience. But I had the same thing happen. I used to work for a multi-million-dollar breeding operation. We had about 80 horses, brood mares alone. But so when you breed horses now, most of them are done through like artificial insemination. It's not what we call live cover, right? And so when you do artificial insemination, it's the same thing. You insert a tube for the female, and then you put the donor in, and you're supposed to, you just feed it through the tube. Well, you have to do it at a very specific time. It's not like, it's kind of like snakes, but different. The fact that you have to hit snakes or horses like while they're ovulating, right? So same process goes through after ovulation, but you got to ultrasound, make sure the female is ovulating, everything like that. So that puts the tube in, but pushes it all the way up to the back of the uterine wall. She doesn't leave any gap for the actual donor to go in. So she's like, "All right, go, everything's good. Go ahead." I go and I shoot the tube in, and then usually flush it with a little bit of sterile water. Well, it was up against the back of the uterine wall, so everything just came back.
That's nasty too.
Yeah.
I'm down with that shit.
Yeah,
I would have rather
traumatic experience. Yeah, so
I would have rather get puked on.
It all came back.
Yes.
And, you're standing there like directly behind it, and I just like I'm like,
Nasty.
That was pretty much my reaction. My boss ran and got a hose. It was just like,
You afraid down for real?
really hosed me down. Yeah.
I
You
got
guys,
something similar like that. It's not no horse story, but I used to breed pit bulls. So I had I was gonna say I had a horse. I had a dog that I really cared for. It was like my favorite, and she wasn't even pure.
Like
she was
that.
a German Shepherd pit. You know what I mean? But she looked like a pit. She just had German Shepherd ears.
that's awesome. She sounds cute.
So I bred her to another American pit bull, and I cared about her. She looked like she was having a hard time. She was going through labor. So I pulled out a sleeping bag and I laid on the floor with her.
Aww.
And obviously I fell asleep. I was waiting on her, but I fell asleep. But I wake up because she has the first puppy on my lap.
Aww.
So all the water and all that came out of her initially was all in my lap. I get up and my whole legs are brown.
Oh no!
Yeah.
It's like,
So I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, do I help her or do I go wash my ass real quick?
You guys obviously have never done livestock birth, man, because it's like horses laying down in the stall. You're sitting right behind it, like the legs come, pull the full out on your lap. You start rubbing it down. Oh, it's messy.
Out here where I live at, the most livestock shit we see is pigeons.
Those things can be nasty, man.
They rats with wings over here.
Yeah, sky rats. Yeah. No, I've done the cow. Like, see, I have done the cow. What was it? So I stuck my hand in the cow's vagina because her uterus was twisted, and then the doctor and three other dudes rolled her the way they had to while I was holding on to the calf's head to untwist it. Then that fucker just slipped right out, and then they're like, pick it up by its hind legs and shake it. So I picked it up, shook it one time, and all the fluid just came out of its mouth. And then I was like, I'm holding it. I was like, what do I do with it? They're like, drop it. I drop it, come over, and they start slapping it in the face, man. Slapping this baby in the face. It starts like waking up and making noises and shit. And I'm like, what the hell?
They're so tough. It's ridiculous. Yeah, like you've never been in a true livestock medical procedure until you've got a glove all the way up to your shoulder, and you are
the arm condom. The arm condom is serious, man.
Yo, I'm buzzing.
What did I enjoy? What are we talking about?
That straight up reminds me of Police Academy. I don't know if you ever seen that. That's an old school movie. But when the cop fly in the horse's ass.
Yeah, dude.
That's hilarious.
I haven't seen it in the 90s. But okay, so we're supposed to be talking about your ASF breeding formula, Jose. What do you?
That was way less.
What do you keep them on? What do you feed them? All that good shit. What's your temperature like and all that shit? Like, what's your breeding formula for success on ASF?
So my whole apartment I keep on 75 degrees.
Okay.
Comfortable. What I feed is a mix of this lab rat pellets that I get in Missouri. And as far as protein, I give them a rotation of daily snacks as far as sunflower seeds or mixed seed with like super worms or mealworms in it. Or I will go to like a reptile show and buy a bunch of super worms and just hand them out to all the breeding females. I got retriever dog food, which I don't give often because I notice their fur gets like oily when they eat that. So I throw it in like once every 3 days because it's very high protein and they kind of like it. And that's pretty much it. Fresh water. I do a water bottle in every bin because I want the babies to be able to drink, whether they could reach the other nozzle or not. And sometimes I shake the bucket and it feels full, and the next day it could be empty. You know what I mean? But I know if I fill up that water bottle, and then when I come back from work, the water bottle's empty, I need to fill up that bucket. So
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Just fresh water, a lot of protein, Missouri and lab rat. I did make a I was sitting on a lot of dust from the Missouri and the lab rat pellet and the retriever food. So I wound up making a cake for the ASFs.
I saw
They
that.
wanted, yeah, I did 2 eggs and some water and high protein powder or protein pancake mix. Some
Yep.
cereal, like certain whatever Cheerios or whatever, just to, add a little niceness, a little love to it. And whatever I got sitting around, if I got a little bit left over seed, I throw the seed in there, and then I
Yep.
just bake it, chop it up, and I hand it out. So everything don't go to waste over here.
Same. We do a lot of.
That's that project heat. Nah, but his apartment is like 50 degrees. He wanted to be like Alaska over there. Like I walk in with a sweater from outside, and I'm colder in his house than when I came in.
Damn.
I'll be sitting there like this, like, damn, I gotta get closer to the snakes, yo. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we have several temperature gradients in my house. Max, we do the same thing. We use the dust to feed our roaches.
Yeah, the dubias make them brolic.
Yeah, we have dubias, we have red-headed roaches, we have hissers, and we just got another type of roach. I don't remember what it is, but so yeah, we do the dust.
Me, man.
Yeah, we
I
do
come from
the
the projects. We don't want those here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes. We do the dust for the roaches, and then I also use the dust in my like Norway rat tubs that have pups to wean. We use shallower tubs for our ASFs, so the weaned are able to eat it just fine. But for the Norways, we have to use the deeper tubs, obviously, because the females are just that much bigger. But so we use the dust in there because the pups and weaned will actually eat the dust when they can't reach the top.
Like that, just the dust. You just put it in there.
I just dump it in.
Literally just lick it up.
Yep.
Oh shit.
That's what I do too.
That's a lot easier than making a fucking cake.
Yes, I made the cake before. Yeah, I've done that.
A lot of fun though.
Yeah, it is. It's nice, but no, I just dump it in there. They'll eat it. I use it for my mice a lot. Same reason. Although we use the tubs that you can't get anymore, but they're like from Reptile Basics. They're the rodent tubs that have like the food hopper built into the lid, so it opens down.
The lab tub.
Our mice ASFs when they're not in a rack, but even when they're in a rack, they're in a much shallower tub. So for that reason mainly. But yeah, so we just pour it in there. We do the black oil sunflower seeds and scratch grades as well, and then literally any scrap food that we have left over, like fruits and vegetables. When we cook chicken, like when you cut all the fat and everything off the chicken, we'll like fry that up and throw it in there. Hard boil. I have so many. We buy way too many eggs. Between the monitor and my sugar gliders and all that shit, I've always got leftover eggs, so I'll boil those, either hard boil or whatever, and feed them.
I wish I could have all those animals.
Yeah, we have a friend of ours that has like 3 ducks, and they lay 2 to 4 eggs daily. And he's like, I don't know what to do. I can't eat all, so he gives those to us, and the eggs are like this freaking big. Like it's like a ball python egg. It's ridiculous. So we'll boil those up and then chop them into fours and give one to each breeder colony. And they're higher in protein and in fat than chicken eggs are. So they're even more healthy for them and
better for you.
But yeah, it's nice to just be able to have a way to kind of recycle through everything. We don't really throw much away at all. Something eats it one way or the other.
Right.
That's pretty much how it is for me. I eat a lot of like vegetables, lean protein. So chicken fat goes in there. Shrimp tails go in there, and egg shells. Egg shells are good calcium.
Yep.
So
they ASFs eat the eggshells?
Yep. They eat the eggshells.
I wish I knew. I throw them in
So
the snake
what we
cake from
do,
now on.
we'll hard boil our eggs, and then I just cut them in half or in a fourth, depending on how many are in each tub, and then I just throw the whole egg in there, with shell on and everything.
See,
For
the
mine
eggs are
anyway,
for me.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
try to
shells are
do
for the
shit that
rat.
don't leave a smell, cause like I said, it's in my apartments, and I like
Yes.
when
Yeah.
people walk in and don't know what I'm doing.
Yep.
So,
For,
like,
for
take your eggshells and run them under water, and you're double dipping. You're washing the smell, so there's no yolk inside. Leave the water on it, so the little rodents that eat it are going to get calcium and hydration from that
Okay.
shell. A good trick, because people who breed chickens, and whether it's for meat or eggs, if they're laying eggs, right, will feed them back the shell for
yep.
calcium if the egg layer is too thin on the eggs they're laying. So I started giving them to the rats, man. The tails from
I'm
the
gonna try
shrimp
it.
that I eat, all that bullshit. I know people who put straight protein, like whey
Yeah, that's what I
protein
do.
powder on their
Um,
food. Yeah.
we've done that. We had some rats for a while that were cannibalizing, and so we took the reptile supplement, like the calcium supplement that
Yeah.
dragons, and started sprinkling
Yep.
it on like their fruits and vegetables that we give them every 2 to 3 times a week, and it took care of it because they were
Yep.
eating. They wouldn't eat them as pinks. They would wait till they were fuzzies because that's when
And
bone
then take
development
their head off, right?
calcium. Yeah, so they had
Yeah.
a calcium deficiency.
Yeah, I
Yep.
noticed that
So
if I have a ASF that dies of whatever causes in the tub,
Oh
they
yeah.
don't waste that neither. They take that head right off.
nope. Yep.
Have you ever had them completely turn it inside out and just eat everything but the
I
skin?
ha- I seen
Yeah.
them, the head completely gone, and it looked like an octopus was coming out the neck.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean? But
yeah,
other than that, nothing really
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah. My Norways will literally flip it complete. They'll like skin it and flip it inside out because they
And they
literally
wasn't playing.
everything. I mean, there's the only thing left is the skin.
I mean,
It's
maybe I didn't leave it in there long enough. Like I said, I check them
yeah,
every day.
it's crazy, but yeah, we've had them do it overnight, but it's pretty nuts.
That is
But yeah,
wild.
part of that is yes, they're getting nutrition from it, but the other part of that is the natural instinct of
Right.
this is dead. It's gonna start smelling dead. It's gonna attract predators, that kind of stuff. So
And
yeah,
you know what I noticed too? They will bury them. If they
yes,
don't eat it, they'll bury it.
yep, for sure. Yep, they'll complete. Yeah, you always love
Yeah.
that smell, right? Where like you open the tub and it hits you, and you're like,
You know
oh,
exactly where it's at. Like
like
I know it's in
like
this
there's
one.
something dead in here.
100%.
Yeah,
And you
it's not
can't
a.
just take them out. You got to clean the whole tub because that
Yes,
dust just sits in that tub.
it does. It does.
Yep. I got my shits on hemp now, and that's the
How's
game
that
changer.
going? It is. It is.
I will never keep my rodents. Buckeye, that was for my girlfriend, not for you.
ASFs. I will never
I will.
keep my ASFs
Oh yeah.
because it doesn't
No,
work so well.
I hear a lot of people have been doing it with rats and mice, and they really still like it with
Really?
their rats and mice. I got a buddy who is doing it with his chickens. He likes it with his chickens. I got two guys that are doing it. They're using the hemp for like their little birthing barn for their pigs, calves, and horses,
Yeah.
and they really like it for that too. And
But is it really
so,
worth the price though? Because I heard it's
Yeah,
like triple.
that's
yes,
my thing.
100%,
For the
100,000%.
I don't have it, unfortunately. I don't have it.
I've heard that it's worth it 100% with the ASFs, but I've heard mixed reviews on whether it's worth it with the Norways.
God damn it. So I can't speak for the Norways, but I'll put it to you like this, right? So what I'll spend $238 a month on bedding for my ASFs. Now we're talking not hemp. I would go to Tractor Supply once a week,
Right.
and I would do pine pellets and flakes. I would
Right.
put the flakes down first, and then I'd put the pellets down over top of it, right? Then I'd have to change it every week. Now, it was
Right.
$238 a month of bedding for all my ASFs. And that's 1 month. So for $218, so $20 less, I get the hemp, and that's enough hemp for 6 weeks. So I've just increased, I've
Because you're,
decreased the and increased the longevity. I
yeah, I was
only
gonna
have
say
to clean. Yeah, I only have to clean once every 3 weeks on the hemp. I know that sounds crazy and unrealistic, but it's the truth. I'm telling you.
Because of
Clean
the
once
smell, you
every
only
3.
have to clean once every 3 weeks, right? Because
yeah.
they still shit the
Correct.
same.
Correct. But I'll put this much hemp in there, and by the time that it's time to clean, there'll be this much hemp in there due to absorbency.
Yeah.
So, yes. So now what people also don't think about is this. I'm now using less cleaning products. That costs money. I have 1 filtration in my room as well as 3 fans that when I used the pine got covered in sawdust. I would have to turn everything off, take it all apart, air dust it out, wash it out with water and everything, put it back together. And I know for a fact I would still not be getting all the sawdust. It's physically impossible. So over time, that equipment, the wear and tear is going to be worse on it. Where with hemp, you're only getting normal house dust. Also, hemp has a natural. Oh man, I struggle with this word. A natural anti. Not it's not antimicrobacterial in it, in the actual hemp stalk itself. So it kills things like ammonia and E. coli. So piss and shit. So that plus what I mean, the rodents burrow in it, they nest in it. It's light. It's not messy. It's borderline dust free, and I don't have to spend the gas to go back and forth to
Yep.
get it either. Which over time, wear and tear on the tires and oil. I mean, when you're running a business, every penny is accounted for. So,
Right.
and then the most important thing, not that I give a shit because I got a guy that cleans my rodents, but time is money.
Lucky you.
So if I didn't have that guy,
Right.
right, yeah, right. If I didn't have that guy to clean my rodents, and I was still doing it myself, instead of going through and doing it once every week, I'm now doing it once every 3 weeks. That time is so valuable because now I'm interacting with customers, getting my online stuff updated for my breeding stats on my Excel spreadsheets. Everything that needs to get done gets done. So as far as hemp goes, as of right now, it is so much of a cut above the rest. It's insane. I can't even compare it to anything else, man. I'll never change unless I find something superior, to be honest.
Wow. I'll be doing
Yeah.
tractor supply runs. I don't even know if I could find any of that hemp shit out here.
You gotta order
I'll put
it.
I'll put you in contact with a guy.
Yeah.
All right, bet.
Do either one of you give your ASFs Timothy hay?
I
Yeah.
do. Yeah. Like whenever I get some, like whenever I find any that's
Yeah.
reasonable, I'll throw it in there with
Yep.
them.
We've noticed a huge improvement in just overall care of litters and that kind of stuff using it. So
Yeah, I get it for my guinea pig, so I just buy it in bulk. The ASF gets it too.
yeah, we buy it
And,
for like Tractor Supply Company. It's way too expensive if you buy it at like on the pet package stuff, you know.
Yeah, you
Right.
you need the
You get a bale
brick.
that's about it's about this big, but I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
When you cut those bands, dude, it
It's like,
expands about 3 times
Yeah.
the size. Yeah. But yeah, we have rabbits, chinchillas, and the ASFs keep it as well. Now I like run a little mini zoo over here. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
dude.
I wish I could do it like you just saw. I used to have a skunk,
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
and then
illegal in Illinois. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to have pet skunks. But I
it
love
was the scented. It was the scented. It was like having a cat, to be
yes,
honest.
they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know several people that have them. I've hung out with them a lot. I
They're
do
great.
exotic nail trimming like throughout
Mhm.
my area here. So I do like rabbits, sugar gliders, guinea pigs, you name it. I pretty much do it. So there's actually a skunk breeder about 60 minutes north of me, and so I go up there about once every 6 weeks or so and trim all the nails and everything, and it's cool. But yeah, you can't have them in Illinois. It's another reason I want to
They
move
spray you.
to Iowa.
There, you ever got sprayed when you was clipping nails?
No, they're all descented.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah. I think legally, in order for them to be pets, they have to be descented.
Right, I think so
I could
too.
be wrong, but I know that like the breeders that I've talked to several different ones. All of their skunks are descented, but they'll mimic spray, which is kind of cool. Right?
Yeah,
I've only ever seen it a couple times, but they'll still like go through the whole motion like they're
slapping
gonna
the floor,
spray.
doing handstands and stuff.
Yeah,
They
but
awesome animals. They're so cool.
they're awesome. They're awesome
Oh
pets.
shit.
As I work so much, I couldn't give it the attention it really needed. It's like it's
Yeah,
demanding to have a man.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime you have an exotic animal, they demand so much more attention.
Yeah, they do.
I think like obviously dogs demand a lot of attention and stuff too, but they're used to being domesticated.
And you
So
could take a dog outside.
Yeah.
In the city, you ain't taking a skunk
Yeah.
outside.
no kidding, yeah. But they're like, and I know some dogs have separation anxiety and stuff like that. I deal with that with my dogs, but most dogs, if you're gone at a normal day job or whatever, they're pretty content as long as you give them stuff to do, and they have toys and stuff. They're pretty comfortable with the domestic life of being a house dog. But when you get into an exotics, they're just not. Their minds go all the time. I'm constantly battling that with some of my exotics, but like even my monitor. That dude is out of the cage like probably 10 hours a day, just cruising around the house.
Learning.
Along with my dogs, my cats, like it's ridiculous. He just
That's
hangs
awesome,
out.
dude.
That's cool.
He's got several different basking spots throughout the house and stuff. So no matter what room he's in, he's got somewhere to go for warmth. We're currently working on his 1,500-gallon pond in my basement. So once that happens, he probably won't be out roaming around as much, but right now he's kind of in a temporary situation, and we use him for a lot of educational shows, so I want him to be really comfortable with people and different stuff around normal houses, right? Like tables and chairs and desks and sights and sounds and things like that. So, but yeah, it's like owning another dog. It's ridiculous. I never thought that I would find a reptile that was so similar to owning like a true pet. But yeah, he's awesome for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. But up in New York, you have a lot of restrictions, let's say, on what you can have and whatnot. So, what about this? I want to get your opinion on this new legislation thing and how it's going to affect you. Right?
If it passed, it'll suck because that means I would have to drive to another state just to pick up an animal or have it mailed to a friend that's close by to, have them deliver it to me. It'll be a pain in the ass for sure.
And how far are you from like the nearest, like your next state? Like how deep into New York are you? So if you wanted to ship animals out, like once you get to that point, how far would you have to go in order to find a hub to ship?
Like probably 45 minutes.
Man.
Yeah.
I would have to go to Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to go to Jersey.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's not horrible, but it's still a drive.
But
for
is what
sure.
it is. Well, what will happen though is it'll start right here, boom, and then
Oh
Jersey
yeah.
and PA will get it next, and then at the
Yep.
same time they getting it. California is fucked because whatever happens in New York happens in California,
Yeah.
Then
and it's just
guys,
be a big ass
it
pyramid
moves in. Yep.
and falling down, you know.
Yep.
And that's why I did that whole. I don't know if y'all heard about it. I did a whole giveaway for a couple of USARK memberships, and that was cool. And the idea about that was to give it to somebody to get them started, and hopefully they could either upgrade the following year or just keep it going or pay it forward. You know what I mean? Give it
Mhm.
away to
Yep.
somebody who
Yeah.
actually wants it.
I
That's
feel that,
awesome.
man. Believe me.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
USARK does more than we could ever even probably
yeah,
fathom for the
yeah,
reptile community.
we can't give back enough to USARK.
Yep.
For real. Like,
I
I know
mean,
it's
seriously,
booming
guys.
right now, but they've been around for a long
Yes.
time doing this for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. And this is not the
Right?
first offense,
Thank
I
you.
guess, right? For trying to
Thank
take
you,
away
buddy.
the ability to own exotic animals. So
Nah. I
You
think what
can't
was
really
it,
have anything in New York already.
2014 and 15. I know in the Midwest, they there was a big issue and with the retics and the berms
oh yeah.
just transporting them across state lines.
Retics and
As
berms are
in,
illegal in Iowa.
yeah, so like all your retic and berm breeders, and then they try to go after blood pythons, but that got
Yes.
shut down. But your
Yeah.
retic and berm guys can now no longer ship. Like they can't put it past state lines.
Yep.
It wasn't they couldn't
Yeah.
ship it. They could ship it to other people in the state, but they couldn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
ship it out of their state.
Outside.
So
Yeah.
So if your
Retics
state
that
is
and
like,
happened. Like,
if you like in Florida or somewhere where you got a whole bunch of fucking breeders and shit,
yeah.
y'all either trading animals or you're not making no money.
Yeah.
You know?
Retics
Yeah.
and berms are illegal in Iowa because they could become invasive species where it gets -20 here during
That's
the
what
winter.
I'm
I'm
saying.
sure the retics and berms are just going to start up a population, man.
They're gonna make a campfire.
Yeah, for sure. There was a ban on hognoses for the longest time. It actually just lifted the ban on hognose in Iowa, which of course no one's like, I don't want to say no one's talking about like in the reptile community, right? But like the government and the legislator like aren't talking about it. It's really hard to find the information on it because they still don't want people owning these animals. But hognoses are native to Iowa. So originally they decided to outlaw them because people were going up and doing like hognose roundups, like they do rattlesnake roundups, right, down south, and they were selling them, and they almost completely like took out the entire wild population of hognoses. And so now you're allowed to own them, but you have to be able to prove that they weren't wild caught. Like you have to have all the paperwork and everything from the breeder stating where they got their, where they got their breeders, and I think it goes all the way up to 2 or 3 generations. They have to be able to prove we're captive bred, not wild caught, going down. So it's illegal to own gardener snakes here for that very reason too. You could keep them, you could breed them, you could do everything with them. You just cannot sell a gardener snake. So like you could give them away, you could breed them, you could do whatever you want. You're just not allowed to sell them. So we see them labeled a lot here as ribbon snakes.
Ribbon,
and they even put quotations around it because it's not a true ribbon snake.
Hilarious.
It's a gardener snake. But they in the pet stores you'll literally see quote ribbon quote.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Like it's a common gardener snake, but whatever. We'll call it whatever you want.
Damn. So then, Jose, you don't own any other different species then, huh? Because you're just so restricted.
Oh, there you go.
You got a crusty.
Yeah, New York Power Boys gifted to me a crested gecko one day, and I still got
That's
him.
awesome,
He's
dude.
big now.
That is,
Yeah, like I said, this whole hobby's been a blessing. I bought this snake against my ex's will. I bumped into a whole bunch of great people. Like I used to breed pits before, and the pit bull community is nothing like this. This is like a big ass family in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been in many other animal industries, and they are very cutthroat. I
Yeah,
mean, very.
Yeah.
You,
Savage.
I've never seen like, and I get that you get it no matter where you are, but I've never seen so many people be blatantly smile, friendly to my face, and literally turn around in the next room and just be like slashing you down like no other. Like, you want to be part of a community
Yeah.
like that? Join horses, dogs, or cats. I mean,
yeah.
any
Yep.
birds. Birds is another one. Bird people are in fucking sane. I mean, they really
That
are
sucks.
crazy. They
'Cause I
are,
really want to do birds.
yeah, they are nuts. But yeah, I mean, that is just, their communities are so, let's just say reptile community was definitely a breath of fresh air when we started, for sure. I
Right.
mean, I've never
Uh,
had
I thought I
so
was
many,
gonna be the only person in the city doing it, and I was way wrong.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So
I've
I got
never met,
connected to all of them, and it's been great.
yeah, like sincere people, right? Like,
Right.
and again, I know every community, like, you're gonna have your few people or whatever, but for the most part, um, a lot of
Definitely.
people in this industry are amazing. Yes, Tracy, don't just support. Email your state guys. They make it so easy. There's
Yeah, it's
like
copy and paste.
there's usually like 2 or 3 mock-up emails. Just put your name at the bottom. I try, sometimes I'll add a little extra if it's something that I know a little bit about, just so that I try to make it. I feel like if we do too many of the same emails, right, they start realizing that it's copy and paste, and they don't actually read through the email. So that,
Yeah.
makes
It's still
sense.
kind of like a petition. Like, yo, damn, we got all the same
Exactly,
email.
exactly. So it's better than nothing. But if you could put even just a paragraph at the beginning about like who you are and why you feel that way, if you've got time, or it helps. I think it helps to have another voice of reason out there. So
Yeah, man.
definitely,
It
Yeah, that's definitely
it's
facts.
especially with your like credentials, if you will, or how you look, I think surprises people because I've gone to town hall meetings, and when people think like reptile person, they think holes in
yes,
your ears, tattoos, long hair, and here I come, finely built, clean cut, military guy,
yep,
and I got a lot of tattoos. You just can't see them unless I take my clothes
Yeah.
off, and I was smart about it, and
yeah,
I speak in a way to where I sound educated. So I'm not. No one knows like, oh, this fool dropped out of high school at like 15 and got a GED. Like
yep.
I speak in a way that's elegant and like I have good etiquette, and they take me seriously because I'm not what they expect your reptile guy to be, right?
Yeah,
And
I,
they're
I,
I
I
guess
think
I'm
that's
the
a huge
expected
thing.
reptile guy.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's a stereotype, man. It
Yeah,
is.
I used
It's
to
a
get that
stereotype.
all the time, especially before I cut my hair, because I used to have like super long, dark brown hair, like just your average. But yeah, I used to get it all the time. Like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I breed reptiles. Really? Like, I have no piercings. I have my ears pierced, but I never wear earrings. I have no piercings, no tattoos. Like, that was always their thing. Like, you have no piercings, you have no tattoos. Like, you're so well educated. I would never expect that you work with reptiles. And now that I do the funky colored hair, I've had some people be like, I never would have guessed if it wasn't for your hair. Like, that's like, well, I'm like, yeah, because this just tells
Yep.
everything about me. But it's really crazy how much people like, that's the standard, right, for the reptile community, and it's unfortunate. I think it's a lot of the people that you see online that aren't really what we strive to set as an example for a lot of our reptile people, right? Like it's these people that don't take good care of their animals, or they get in trouble and they're on the news because their animals are being confiscated, or they're constantly showing pictures, like live feeding videos. And I mean, I'm not completely against it, but it's like, if that's the only thing you post, and the only thing you post is like, oh, look at my cute rat, oh, haha, like I threw it in there, and oh, look, now my snake's eating it. It's like, you are just adding fuel to the fire for the people that don't want us to have these animals. Feeding pictures, even some feeding videos, like I get it. It's but if it's, I see a lot of people where it's like, it's the only thing you post and you're like making fun of this animal, or people are watching you like grab a rat by the tail and like whip it into a tub, right? It's like, stop adding fuel to the fire. We all know I mean, we obviously try to do it with the most decency we can, right? But we all know that's how it's done. You take the rat, you throw it in the tub, and you move on. But there's no need to be publicly displaying that stuff all the time to the people that don't understand why we do things the way that we do them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, the calm educational manner is the best way to go.
Yeah.
And even then, you're just
that's how I look at it. Look how every snake eats differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, for sure. And again, like, I'm all about the education, like feeding pictures, but like, I don't need a 5-minute long video of this rat that's screaming while this snake is sitting there. It's like, if you're a reptile person, you understand. Like, that's just what happens,
100%.
right? But for these people that are so against what we do already, like, you're just giving fuel to, like, they're taking this cute little innocent creature and they're throwing it in this tub, and the snake is brutally murdering it.
Yeah, I got some heat like that one time. Somebody had a pet rat, and they was mad that I was feeding my snakes rats.
Right.
What are you supposed to feed them?
Yeah, like, I was just like, you know what? I tried to explain it, and she just got crazy with it. So I was like, block, and that was it. But
and my thing is, like, rats are omnivorous. What do you think is in your rat food? Like, they're taking innocent animals, right, and taking them to a butcher and butchering it, and then they're taking all of the, the excess meat really that humans don't eat, and that's what they put in dog food and rat food and stuff like that. But so why is that any different? I mean, I personally, I have a degree in agriculture. I've been to many butchering plants before. It is done as humanely as possible, but I am not saying it is a pretty process.
Right.
It is what it is. But I think it's amazing that people can automatically turn a blind eye to what they're doing, and but what someone else is doing is the worst thing in the world. It's horrible. It's amazing how quickly people are to point blame, but they don't ever want to think about where their food comes from, or where the food for their animals comes from.
To me, it's like, yo, just fuck off. You live your life how you want, and I live my life how I want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't tell me what to do. You do you, and I do me. That's it.
Yep. If we agree to disagree, great. If you can shed some education on someone that doesn't understand, even better.
If I could learn from it, fine. But if it's working for me, just let me rock.
Yes.
Congratulate me that I'm winning, and that's it.
There you go.
Yep.
Perfect.
If you ain't killing motherfuckers, and you ain't doing nothing wrong. That's the thing. You ain't hurting nobody.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't hurting nobody. I'm gonna just leave you be, man.
And my animals is happy, like, relax.
Yeah, if the animal's eating, it's happy, like.
And my rats is breeding.
There you go.
So everybody's happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about it. I use this argument a lot when people are like, if they say something along the lines of how we keep our feeder rodents. If they were truly that miserable, why would they come back? I mean, we just talked about this. They chewed through, or the tub got knocked out, or whatever, and they're leaving, and then literally choosing to come back into an area where they feel safe, And so, I mean, it obviously can't be that terrible or that horrible for them, or they would, they wouldn't come back to the same location, that they just, we're being kept so horribly and broke free from. So
Yeah. I don't know. I always tell people it's all right to be ignorant because no one knows everything. It
yeah,
ain't all
Right.
right to be stupid. There's a difference between stupidity and ignorance. That's what I
for
tell
sure.
people. All right, we got one more. We almost hold you up for 2 hours, so we got
Yeah.
one more piece to cover before we get to the revolution round. So this is a pretty deep one for you right here. What's your animal career goal / mission statement?
So I guess career-wise, I'm just gonna keep doing what I've been doing, just buying what I like and choosing wisely in my investments, and keep just making what drives me, what keeps me happy, what keeps me opening a bit and smiling. Um, Honestly, mission statement, I guess we have to do something with the community because the community is what made me want to keep doing better in a way. You know what I mean? So I just want to make dope shit. You know what I mean?
There you
Yeah,
go.
fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So do you eventually want to go full time, or you just want to be a hobby until one day, if you can go full time, so be it. If not, you're just gonna keep doing it because you love it,
I'm just
or
gonna go day
what's up with
by
that?
day. I feel like I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So one foot in front of the other. You know what I mean? And I'm enjoying, like I said, meeting good people, catching up, and
My
just
man.
vibing. So
Yeah. Keep
you know,
building,
just that's it.
keep building yourself
Yep.
up and help the other, help the new people as they come in. And yeah, that's
Yep.
I think what this community backing is all about, is instead of trying to push the new people coming in down, try to help build them up. And
Yeah.
I know the more we do that,
100%.
the higher we see, I think there's that mentality that if you build people up, and then you get to the same level. But I've always found that the more you build people up, the higher up you go at the same time, right? It doesn't bring you
Yeah.
down. I mean, pick who you're hanging with wisely, right? There's
Yes.
always that in statement. Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Right.
So if you're building someone
Yep.
up, you want someone who's going to build you up and help build the next people up, and definitely don't want to, spend too much time with someone that's going to try to drag you back down to their level.
Definitely.
Yeah,
You could feel
support.
those vibes though. You know, they say
Yeah.
real recognize
Yeah.
real. So you could
Oh
definitely
yeah.
feel those vibes when it's not real.
Yep.
You know?
And listen, take what everyone says with a grain of salt, but also listen to them.
Definitely
And,
learn.
if you start
Yeah.
hanging out with someone, you got a couple people that reach out to you and they're just like, hey, I've seen you've been talking it up with so and so. I just, want to put a word out there to, just kind of watch what's going on.
Careful. Yeah.
Yes, be careful. Now, someone messages you and they're like, "Oh, this person is blah blah blah." That could kind of be a red flag. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
if you get a couple people that are just like, "Hey, just keep an eye out or keep an ear out for this person or whatever," most of the time people are doing it for a good reason. So,
Right.
Yeah. I think you'll be just fine. You came in,
yeah,
even though you came in on the orange ghost there. You invested. Now I talk a lot of shit, but I'll tell you what. I really, 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 really do like the GHI Mojave Hypo Clown. That animal drops my jaw every time I see it. But you came in with the right mentality. You invested for the future. Taking it
yes,
day by day is absolutely the best thing you can do. And what I tell people is success is just the culmination of hard work every day.
Hmm.
Like going to the gym, right? You go to
yep,
the
Hmm.
gym one day, you don't see results. You go to the gym every single day. Over
That's
time,
right.
you'll get your results. And when you're always prepared, you'll get lucky, because lucky is just when preparation meets opportunity.
Yep.
So you're doing it right, man. You are gonna last, and you are gonna go a lot farther than I think you will ever anticipate yourself going, just by
Thank you,
staying on
sir.
the track you're on right now.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean that shit.
100%.
I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. I promise you
That
that.
means a lot, yo.
Like, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. You ready
And
for
that's
the
what I
hard
said.
ones now?
It's just been so crazy, man. This whole journey's just been a fucking blast, to be honest.
Yeah, enjoy the journey. That's the
Yes.
biggest. That's a ball python breeder's biggest downfall, is they're impatient and they don't enjoy the journey. 100%.
I'm
man.
impatient. I'll give you that one. I love my journey, but I'm impatient as fuck.
I'm pretty
I
impatient
hate
too.
waiting.
I try to keep my eyes closed every time I open that drawer and I see my female growing. I'm like,
Yes.
yo,
Yeah.
just give me the damn shed already, shed.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I'm
Yeah,
patient.
especially this time of year. Like I've got 5 or 6 ovulations in the book. I come down. I swear I could stay down here every hour and be like, "Did you lay yet? Did you lay yet?" Did you lay
Yeah.
And y'all guys
Okay,
got
I
me
do
hyped
that.
though, because y'all
that.
been dealing with this for a while already. You know what I'm saying? So if you
Yeah.
still smiling every time you open a drawer, I can't wait. Shit.
It's an amazing feeling, you know. First clutch, we have our stakes at our basement. My first clutch, I fell of that pit. I fell running up the stairs to tell Kyle. Like I was running, I just like ate it.
Boom.
I was so excited, but
All right.
the excitement, like I just got up and went back up.
You ain't even feel it.
I like knees and everything else. I didn't even know. I was just so excited. It's crazy, but yeah, there's just enjoy the little things. It keeps you
Definitely,
going.
that's life. There's always the little things.
Yeah, don't set your expectations too high because you'll always be disappointed. Like I know that sounds horrible, but if you have a clutch and you're like, I'm gonna get this many of this and this many of that, and it's gonna be this many girls and this many boys, like I've noticed that the clutches that I have the littlest like anticipation for end up being like my most favorite clutches out of the whole season because I have no expectations for this clutch. It's just like a bonus clutch. I project pushing clutches that I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. I should get this on the odds and this and that are the ones where I'm like, oh man, I missed it, or I didn't hit this, or I only got one female. Like last year, I had 86% males.
Oh shit.
Oh, it was
you got fucked last year on sex odds.
Oh, I just got reamed. And not only that, I mean, I got reamed on odds in general. Like I had 5 clutches to hit double heads, and I hit 1 the whole season. I hit 1 double head. Or double visual. I'm sorry. It was the
I got what you're saying.
I knew what you meant.
But it's just last year.
That's still a victory in my book.
It is.
You got that one,
Yeah, I am. It was our first double visual. It was the only snake this year that I really wanted to be male, and it came out female. Out of my 86% sex odds, which is great, right? You can't.
Everything else was male except for what you wanted.
Yeah. Visual female, right? Yep. In 3 years, she'll be the most valuable asset. But it's just sometimes and we still had a good year. I mean, you still have so many good things I could say. So sometimes you hit the odds and sometimes you don't, and you just try again next year. That's all I could say, or buy it and move on to something bigger or better. But it's still just enjoy what you do produce and don't worry so much about what you can't or what you didn't. For sure, some of my biggest advice, because I know I had a hard time with that when we started.
Yeah, I got when you set a plan up, you want it to play out accordingly, you know what I mean? So those hiccups like that is kind of like, damn, but you pick it up and you look at you count your blessings, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I don't have those problems. I always hit the odds. I always hit
Lucky
the.
you.
I
You
always
sound
hit
like
not the
Castro.
gender, not the gender odds, but I'll usually always hit the genetic mutation I'm going for, like the combo. I'll always hit it, but I don't always hit the gender odds. So I'm lucky, but I know one year there's gonna be a year where I know it's coming. It's been too good for me. I'm
only saying this because I love Brandon, but I can't wait for that year for you.
Hey, it's still a lesson I have to learn.
My boy Castro, he do a 66 to a 66, and he still hit three.
And they both threw me.
Yeah, he like fuck.
Yep.
I will say I've never, knock on wood, because I've got several this year, so I'm gonna knock on some wood here. But I've never not had a pos het prove. I've only ever had 5.
Yeah.
I've only ever had 5 because I try not to play around with the pos het stuff too much.
Same.
But I've never not had one prove. So and 2 of them have been hypo, which is even more impressive because there's no markers
Indicator.
like round, spit, pied. You definitely have. But yeah, I've been very fortunate in that boat that I've never not had a het prove. Now I know my day's coming. I think I've got 4 or 5 pos het stuff this year, so I hope I didn't all of those. This year I'll be 50-50, but but for the most part, I've had them prove out. So in that aspect, I'm very fortunate.
No, yeah, mine have all proved as well. It just is. But don't worry, I'm sure that year's coming.
Yes.
But yeah, we've been hit the 2 hours. So you ready for the hard stuff, bro?
What you mean?
This is our revolution round. Kind of like the fire questions, right? So we're just gonna ask you. Don't think about it. You're just gonna name it off. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll go with the first one. Is it? All right, we're talking about the candy now, apparently. Well, no, you're a ball python guy. So we're talking about the morph. Is it caramel or caramel? Caramel? How do you say it, Brandon?
I say caramel.
Is it?
Yes!
I say caramel.
Caramel! Haha, I finally got one.
You don't think it's a... Damn it. Oh, yeah, you got one. You got one so far.
I say caramel.
Yeah. That's how I say it.
I say caramel albino. It's a caramel.
It's a caramel albino. Thank you, Jose.
I think it's where you come up from.
Caramel albino.
You've been the only one to agree with me, so I appreciate it very much. Favorite interview.
That's like Mario or Mario. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. How much? What's your 1 rep max on bench?
Oh, right now, 255, I think it was.
Yes. All right.
I'm only 140. I'm only 155 myself. So 255.
I know.
You know
what I mean? Pound for pound, I think I'm a pretty strong guy. You know.
Yeah.
No, you are. Yeah, absolutely. We don't have people on the show who can bench more than me, but we don't ask till the end.
Yeah.
So,
it's all right. That's the goal. I'll be happy with 315 one time.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's my goal.
That's dude. The first time I ever put 300 up, my nose bled. Like,
wow.
I wanted it bad. Yeah.
All right.
Is you want the next one?
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
You're supposed to ask how short are you?
With or without the hat?
Yeah, I'm definitely 5'6".
All right.
All right. Brandon, you got the next one?
Yeah. An animal that you don't have but you want to own.
I guess some kind of monitor.
I
like the bell lace, how that looks. So I think I would try to get that.
I like lace.
That's I want a bell, a black dragon, and a Merton. I want some Merton monitors too.
I don't know what's a Merton.
They're smaller. They say on the smaller size. They're about 3 feet, but they have super long tails. They're really cool. You should look them up. They're interesting. Very aquatic, as most monitors are, but they're like extremely aquatic. Yeah. All right. Who do you look up to most in the industry?
As far as what, a friend that I know or somebody who's a big dog?
Both.
Well, I guess somebody I know would be Hector. That's a real genuine dude. You know, I'm very blessed to know him.
For people
And
that don't know, it's Honey's Reptiles, right?
yeah, Honey Reptiles. Yep. And as far as one of the big dogs, I guess I like how AEP does his thing. He's like a party guy, and I like to party myself.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm trying to
Awesome.
turn up in Arlington. I got the Airbnb, so y'all already know.
Woo!
We'll both be there.
Yeah.
Yep,
We'll
you already
both be
know.
there. Hell yeah.
And
All
you'll
right.
officially be out by then, won't you, Brandon? Or not
Yeah,
yet?
I will be out of the army.
Oh, so you already know, my guy.
Yeah. Yep. I'm
Yes.
looking forward.
Yeah.
I'm driving down. I'm caravanning down with Troy for Best Fest Balls and a couple other people, but Kyle's flying down. I'm specifically driving just so I could bring a bunch of stuff for Brandon.
Yeah, I got something for you too, my guy. But you gotta promise
Oh.
me you don't do nothing till you see me, bro.
Yeah.
All right, nothing till you see me.
Okay.
All
Fair enough.
right.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll be down there. I'll be a free man, so we're definitely gonna have to have a good time. I'll try and get down there Friday for sure.
Man, that
But
sounds
there's
like
something
fun. See,
else.
that's an add-on to the trip because I did not expect that.
Yeah. There you go. I know.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's what it was. Liz, I have a surprise for you and Kyle,
Uh-oh.
and it will be at Arlington as of right now. You guys heard it here first. This is Liz's first time hearing about it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this. Is this a return?
No.
What is this for? Like, why?
'Cause you got me. Okay, so when I get people Christmas present, guys, what
I
I
was
do
gonna
is
say,
I
is it
wait.
from the dope ass Christmas present that I got you?
Yeah. So I wait to see what they get me first,
He's
and then
that
depending
ass.
on how much, depending on how much I like it, will dictate what they get. So for real, people have bought me shit that's like $250, and I give them like a $5 card. But people have bought me like a $20 something, and I've given them a $500 present. It's literally off how much I enjoy what they gave me. So, Liz, your present's gonna be in Arlington.
Ooh, God damn, I am impatient. Why did you bring this up? We are like 3 months away.
Yeah, no,
Are
we're
you gonna
not.
vend?
That's next
Are you gonna
month.
vend?
I'm not vending.
Okay,
No,
you're just gonna have fun.
I'm
I'm
not
going to
vending.
attend. I don't have enough babies left. Hatchlings. I think I have like 8 hatchlings left from the whole season.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, right?
After going to we've been Tinley. I'm only 3 hours from Tinley, so it's super easy to take animals down there and stuff. But no, I kind of just enjoyed being in Arlington this past October and just being able to like enjoy the show and not be stuck behind the table the whole time.
Yeah, it was cool that shit running into all of y'all in the same corner. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I know all of you guys from Instagram.
Yeah, no, it was nice. Like Sunday, I think we went back and like took an hour nap at the hotel because I don't think we got more than like 30 minutes of sleep the night before, and it was just nice because usually it's that way when we're vending, but then we just have to you just got to deal with it. Yeah, you're just there. So that was nice.
You have to sleep on your table, like yep.
Yes. Oh
yeah.
There's a video of me from the last Tinley when we vended, and someone came. I don't even remember who it is. I feel really bad, but someone came and did like an interview, and I had no voice. Like I was like talking like this because it was just the whole weekend was just talking to people. You get that constant roar of people, so you're yelling at people because it's just loud, so in order to understand it. Yeah, I mean, I talk enough as it is, and I was excited because it was our first Tinley that we ever vended, and so by the end of the weekend, it was gone. There was nothing left.
Yeah, I hear that because when I went to Arlington, I was just amazed by, like I said, seeing everybody I already knew And then, you know, there's big dogs in there. I was like in a fucking AEP video. I couldn't even believe that. Like I got in the hobby, he was on TV. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I was
Yeah.
like, I never thought that I would bump into him in a event or nothing
yeah.
like that. I didn't think I would be in an event in another
Miguel,
state.
yeah, Miguel is just amazing though too. Like he is so humble. Like he gets so much hate for
Yeah.
being like this guy that has all
But
this
he's
money,
not.
his way into the industry, but he is just such a genuine, like down
Yeah.
to
He's
earth,
real.
good guy. Like it's
He's
ridiculous.
him. That's who he is.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I like that. He's not faking it for nobody.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's for sure. Speaking of
He's
Miguel, we
fair.
have
Yeah,
him
man.
on last week of this month, so
Yeah,
it'll
he's
be
at the
Yeah,
end of the
exciting.
week,
Miguel's
I
good.
think. Yeah.
But
Yep.
anyway, last question.
Oh, my
All
bad.
right.
Let's do it.
No,
All right.
no, you're good. We go.
Yeah.
He's apologizing, and it's always me and Brandon running off on
It's
the
us.
tangent during these lives.
It's always us.
Always.
So, Jose, how are you revolutionary?
I think I'm just really genuine. You know what I mean? What you see is what you get. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I'm just me, and I'm trying to, like I said, make shit that I really enjoy, and I hope that everybody else just ride the wave and enjoy it with me.
Yeah.
I'll grab my surfboard, bro. I'm
Awesome.
down.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait to
Fuck
see what
yeah.
what you produce
Thank
in
you,
the
guys.
future. Got a great start, and your way is very clear. You could tell that you have a goal on what you want to do. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah,
awesome.
focus.
I think you
appreciate it,
started
definitely.
out better than like 90% of us.
Way better than me.
Way,
Like I
way
said,
better than me.
I got in, and I was fortunate enough to have all this information online. You know what I mean? So
That's
it was
true.
pretty
Yeah.
easy for me to like being a breeder already. I just like took what I already knew and absorbed it in the reptile world. And
Yep.
like I said, I'm still learning.
We all
Yeah,
are.
me too.
Right,
Always.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think
right.
I think it was Justin that just did a little snippet about that on either an interview or a video, that his biggest concern is becoming almost complacent, to where he's always trying to learn new things, but he also feels like he knows most of it. And he thinks sometimes it could kind of blindside him, keep him from bringing in new information and learning new things. I think it's really easy to get that way. But I think the more you're willing to learn and be open-minded and take information that other people give you, and at least not always implement it, but at least contemplate it or look into it definitely makes you a better breeder and more rounded, more successful overall.
And I think everybody has good information. It's just that we all in different places, you know what I mean? So what works for you might not work for me.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about how your husbandry is different, being in New York, and Brandon and I talk constantly about how our husbandry is different. I mean, before you came on, Jose, I was talking to you about the Midwest is horrible because we have 110-degree summers with 90% humidity, but we also get like the negative 20-degree winters. So we kind of get like all climates. We're hotter than Texas and Arizona in the summer, but we're colder than Minnesota in the winter. It's kind of crazy. So we unfortunately have to battle with it all. We go through months of it being super dry, and then we go through months of it being super humid. So we kind of have to learn how to deal with all the different elements.
Do you change your bedding accordingly? Like,
I'll
say, for example, in the wintertime, you have, like, I guess, accordingly.
Cocoa? Yeah. We use Reptile pretty much primarily. I keep it drier for my boas, which I think is really strange, but my humidity is actually lower in my Freedom Breeder tubs than it is in my boa profiles, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me because I have a lot more air movement and there's a lot more air space in my boa profiles, but it tends to hold humidity longer. So, but yeah, I'll go like in the winter, I literally will put water on my chip, mix it up, put it in my tub. I mean, it's like right from wet from the bag right in. In the summer, I'll mix it up and then I'll let it, depending on, I should say depending on what season of summer I'm in, because we go through dry parts of summer and humid parts of summer. I'll like mix it up and then I have to let it sit for 2 to 3 days to kind of dry out, you know, and then put it in. There's times in my room that I have to run a dehumidifier during the day, and I have to run a humidifier at night because we go through like, you know, we'll have 60 to 80% humidity during the day, but at night when the heat drops, we get like 40% humidity. And then there's weeks that it stays with around 80% humidity all the time. And then we'll go through weeks in the summer where we have like 20 to 30% humidity. So I'm constantly battling with humidity here. And you could tell, every time we have a season change, we go through about if something sheds within the first week or two. You know, I don't want to say we have horrible sheds, but we definitely have sheds that, you know, we get some suck shed and have to help them work it off and things like that. Even if the perimeters are perfect in here, I think that having those dramatic changes, even though we artificially replicate them, it still takes the animal time to adjust.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, that's part of it as well. But yeah, it's definitely a constant battle here. I'll have one day where my tubs are completely dry, and then I'll come down the next day and they'll be like completely like it's raining in the tub and I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't put water in it. I didn't change it. You know, it's
That's
just
what happens in my hatching rack. I don't put no water on the cocoa. I just put it in there and just have it in a little bowl in there. It's all sweaty.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. So
Yep.
I use the baby chip in my hatchling racks. I like it because it's not as thick, so it doesn't make the substrate as deep, which is nice when I'm using, because I use the little like Crocs, like the ones with the blue bottoms, you know. So if I put just even a layer of the Repti chip in there, it's high enough almost that they just push it into the water bowl every time. So I use the baby chip so I can make a real fine layer on the bottom. I got enough height for the water bowl. And I've never had issues with humidity in my hatchling racks. And then I could put soaking wet Repti chip in my adult racks, and the next day it's completely dry, especially here. Yeah, so dry, especially here in the winter. And we use like an oil room heater. We try not to use the air heaters, right? Because it sucks all the humidity out of the air. Yep. But like right now with it being winter, I fill my humidifier probably 3 to 4 times a day, and it has like a 25-gallon reservoir. So I mean, I am pumping about 100 gallons of water into the air daily.
Yeah.
Just to keep it, at that, you know, 50 to 60% sweet spot. So it's definitely a constant battle for living in a climate where we get pretty much every type of weather you could think about.
Now, is it colder where you live? Like, is it colder most of the time where you live, or is it mostly hot?
We go through, so it's super cold here, usually like December through February. It's bitter cold. I mean, we'll get, like, we just got done with a 4-week stretch of it not being above single digits.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and usually with that, we've got like negative 20 to 30 degree wind chills. So, and so we'll get that for usually about a good month, sometimes 2. January to December, January, we're usually in the teens. And then spring will roll around. Like already it's been like, I would say a week ago, Saturday, I went to bed and it was 7 degrees and I woke up and it was 46.
I was like yesterday. Yesterday was freezing cold,
you know,
and today
it's
is
just
50.
how quickly it changes. It's been about in the 30s and 40s for the past week and a half. So we'll either maintain this until about early to mid-May, or April will suck. We'll like get snow and sleet. Like we'll go a month and a half of 40-degree temperatures. It'll drop back down to teen temperatures. Just depends on what the weather's feeling that year. And then summer, June to July, or mid-May to July, we're usually looking at like 80s, 90s. We've had a couple cool days. We'll get like some 70-degree days. Then August hits, and August is swamp weather. It's 100 plus degrees, and it's like 80 to 90% humidity.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you go outside and it just takes your breath away. Like the air is so heavy. We'll usually get that pretty much all throughout the month of August. And then September, it'll drop off and be like in the 70s and 60s. We'll get that through about October. November will be by 40s, and then it starts all over again. So, I mean, we literally get every month pretty much. It's a different
something different
climate.
shit.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's horrible.
So you constantly got to be planning a month in advance.
Yep.
Like, damn, this is about to come. I got to do this shit.
Yep. Well, and then we get those weird days, right, where it'll be 70, and then all of a sudden we'll spike and we'll have like 2 weeks of 90s and 100 degrees, and then it'll drop down to 60 for like 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, it's very sporadic, very random. Just it does what it wants around here. It doesn't give a crap. If I pay attention
to live where you at.
Yeah, if I pay attention to what's going on out west, I can kind of predict it, because where we're in the direct air current from like South Dakota, Colorado, Yellowstone National Park, like all their weather.
So
it rolls down and comes right through like central Illinois, avoiding like your Great Lakes, right? So it literally just comes down and sweeps through. Then it goes through kind of Indiana and down towards to Florida. Pretty much, right, is how that weather pattern goes. So, so I'm constantly like looking at weather from like literally hundreds of miles away from me just to see what it's going to be the next week here. So, yeah, we'll even get, when they have the really big wildfires out west, we'll get fog. I mean, we are so direct. We're such on a direct current from that they'll have wildfires out there, and about a week later, we'll have like 3 or 4 days of really hazy, foggy weather, because we get all that smoke and runoff from that. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is like a river of weather.
Yeah.
That's
for sure.
Wild. So wild.
I went out of the Midwest. I won't have to deal with it forever.
Yeah, when I leave New York, I want to go somewhere where there's no winter. I could deal with a spring and I could deal with a fall, but I'm tired of this snowfall.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Probably somewhere around the Georgia area, where Georgia, South North Carolina, and that bottom quarter of Chattanooga, Tennessee is. All right there. That's probably where you're going to want to be.
Yeah, I was always looking at Georgia. I used to live down south in Florida and stuff, so.
Yeah, Georgia will get snowfall like a few times a year, but nothing sticks. Like it snows, but there's nothing.
And the price is right in Georgia too.
Yeah. It won't be long, people. If you want to move now. Move now. Yeah.
Move now, for real.
People are flooding from California and from the north, so housing market's about to boom down south.
Yep, if you're like me and you invest, you better invest now.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me.
Well, with that, we could ramble on for like another hour, but Jose, thank you for your time.
I appreciate it.
Bro.
Invite, guys.
Really
2.5 hours of good time, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Thank you, man.
Yeah, well, go enjoy your time with your family and your animals, and
I'll see y'all in Arlington.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Yep. Next month, man. Yeah. All right, bro. You be safe out there, all right?
Thanks,
all right.
Later, bye. All right. Hope everyone enjoyed that. Like I said, we could, if we start rambling on again, we'll probably ramble on for like another hour. So, Brandon, unless you have anything else to say.
Are we going to announce next week's guest?
Oh, yes, next week's guest. Who is it?
It's ironically, we said his name like 50 times in here. Actually.
It's Honey, right? It's Hector,
from Honey Reptiles.
Yes.
Yeah, Jose's boy. So Hector's a heavy hitter. If you guys don't follow Honey Reptiles, you need to, because that dude has not the largest collection, but as far as genetic power goes, his collection is fierce.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't checked out his YouTube, like I aspire to make YouTube videos like that. I mean, his intros are just fire. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. He's on it. So we're gonna have Hector next week. Yeah, I'm dealing with something in my knee right now. It's hurting real bad. That's what I've been doing down here. No,
Like,
so next week we'll have Hector on, and we'll probably talk some mean genetics and business and projects.
yes.
With honey reptiles, and maybe about some kids.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We don't talk about children's round Chuck. But
no
we
children.
will next week.
No crotch goblin.
What?
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, yes, we've got Hector on for next week, and if you guys haven't checked out the rest of the lineup for this month, be sure to head over to the Reptile Revolution Instagram page, because we've got. I know we've got 3 ball python people on this month, I guess, right? Because I don't know if I would consider
3.5.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I really consider like a ball python person. But yeah, we got awesome monitor guy coming on, and
That's
even
what I'm really excited.
And I know we already dropped it. Like we got Miguel at the end of this month. Like obviously, I want to talk to him about ball pythons, but we really want to dig his brain about business side of things and social media.
And I want to talk to him about White Essay. White Essay is like, I know he loves his indigos, but man, I love that damn snake of his.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. With that, we've rambled on again for like another 10 minutes.
See? Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.